How is it going today? Lord, it's Dwayne.
My name's Jazz.
We're Dwayne Jazz. Today we have for you Goku Black versus Reverse Flash Dragon Ball versus DC. That's a battle. I'm excited for this one. You already know I'm team Goku Black.
I thought you would have been Reverse Flash. You like both.
I do like both. I don't know. Goku Black had this. It's black. I have to. For the culture. Let me stop.
No, he's not. So
I don't know. I don't. This might be the first one where I don't choose sides because they're both villains, and their Reverse Flash is. He's my. All right, I will talk about it later. All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
If you guys have any questions, please follow social medias and the link in the description below. Don't forget to
subscribe.
And don't forget to like the video. Let's dive on in.
Goku Black, the body-stealing arbiter of divine justice.
That's real.
Reverse Flash. He sees psychopathic speedster fan.
I don't know. I think that he might win. I don't know.
Reverse Flash?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd say the sincerest form of flattery is not trying to kill
All he gotta do
your
is-
husbando. He's Liz Knife.
Just get inside.
I know.
So I don't
Analyze their
know.
weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. What consumes the thoughts of a god? What do immortals dream of with all the time in the world? In Zamasu's case, his one goal was divine justice.
Yeah, this guy's got major Final Fantasy big bad energy all over him.
As the assistant to Universe 10's Supreme Kai, Zamasu prized, above all else, cosmic order and natural beauty.
Oh, that reminds me. Did you know I can burp and fart at the same time? Here, let me try.
Unsurprisingly, Zamasu despised the inherently chaotic nature of mortals, being seemingly unwilling to lift themselves out of their own cycle of violence and stupidity. Some people I know.
Yeah, I know those people too. His heart
They
was
had to do the
clouded.
dog like that.
Yeah.
Until the day he met Son Goku.
With God Ki, Goku could match blows with the god of destruction, Beerus. Their clash nearly destroyed the entirety of Universe 7, a cosmological structure at least 9 times larger than our own universe. At most, it could even be as large as 13 times greater than ours. As a side note, it's worth mentioning that when 2 gods of destruction fought, they were capable of casually destroying 2 of these universes.
And since the shockwaves from their punches traveled across Universe 7 in seconds, they'd have to be hitting way faster than light.
Goku was tapping into his Super Saiyan God form for this, though clearly not at its full strength. While the exact multiplier for Super Saiyan Blue is unknown, Toriyama himself has directly compared it to the original Super Saiyan form.
And don't forget, Goku trained with Whis and fought in the tournament with Universe 6 before Zamasu caught up with him. So by that time, he was way
Much stronger, yeah.
Here was a mortal with the powers of gods beyond even Zamasu's abilities. Someone who could bring his dreams to fruition.
So Sammy did what anyone would do in that situation. Kill his master to become the Supreme Guy. Tell the Super Dragon Balls to switch bodies with Goku and kill every single mortal in the universe.
And thus the deity Zamasu became Goku Black.
Please, Goku Black? You couldn't be more creative?
Now, you might be wondering,
No,
why
they
didn't he
couldn't.
just whisk all the mortals dead? But that wouldn't be as fun, would it? Black's got all of Goku's strength and powers, but wielded by a genocidal maniac instead of that lovable goober of a monkey man.
And in keeping with Goku's Saiyan heritage and godly ki, Black can easily achieve the form of Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan.
But with a champagneful twist.
Super Saiyan Rose.
Rose. What is he, a
Oh
suburban wine mom? Watch out before he unlocks Super Saiyan Live, Laugh, Love!
Oh,
Stole
no.
Goku's techniques too, like the instant transmission, where he focuses on a person's key signature to teleport to their location. He's even got the Black Kamehameha, which is a Kamehameha, but pink.
And with his Saiyan body, he gets stronger and stronger every time he almost dies. He just becomes harder and harder to kill.
Which really sucks for the rest of the universe, because Black is kind of like if Goku just snapped one day and used his powers to their full murderous potential.
Like the God Split Cut, where he surrounds his hands with a keyblade to slice you to ribbons. He used this very technique to,
Kill his
kill
master.
Goku's
Yeah.
family.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, it stopped for a second.
I forgot about that.
Your Dragon Sword, which, along with his Kamehameha, confirms my suspicions that Goku is colorblind.
Actually, Black's Azure Dragon Sword is named after a legendary weapon wielded by one of Earth's greatest warriors, the Desert Bandit Yamcha. Wait, what?
And he can make a scythe and slice open space-time itself to create a bunch of shadow clones. Black, not Crater Boy over here, but his most dastardly weapon isn't a key
They keep
technique
doing
at all.
that.
It's the time ring he got from his dead master.
allowed Black to travel through time, and even escape into future Trunks' alternate timeline, where he had free reign over the entire universe.
And let him team up with his best bud, himself.
So, right.
I was like, what?
It's-
Spoil the
yeah.
fun. But wait, isn't Zamasu in Goku's body?
Yes.
How are there two Gokus? There's only one Goku in the multiverse, right? But Goku met Black before he met Zamasu, which means Black existed before
I ain't
Zamasu
trying to
came
think
up with the
about it.
idea. And then they killed Zamasu before he could do it anyway, but Goku Black was still around? What the hell is going on?
Sure, it's a classic grandfather's paradox. The thing is, Black's time ring prevents him from being affected by alterations to his own personal timeline. So, killing him in the past doesn't change his future, and vice versa. He's almost impossible to kill because even if you do it at one point in time, he still exists at another
Somewhere
point in
else.
time.
Right.
And another, and another, and another, and another.
Oh,
Forever.
God, I hate time travel. Black has crushed Saiyans like Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks. Hell, even Vegito couldn't beat him. He even merged with the universe to become one with everything. Like I said, major Final Fantasy villain vibes here.
It took Zeno, the Omni King, the most powerful being in all of creation, to step in and erase that entire timeline just to stop Black's rampage. How ironic. Zamasu's higher calling was the eradication of all mortal life in the universe, and he stole the strongest mortal's body to do it. But in the end, he was always doomed.
That arc didn't make sense at all.
It was a
Like,
lot. I was trying to think about it too.
That would always be stronger, no matter what he did or who he was.
And the universe ended up being destroyed anyway. It's like one big cosmic joke with no one left to laugh.
You've been running around making messes for too long, and now I'm going to choke the life from you. I can't wait to watch you die.
I gotta watch it in dub, because I
I
watched it
don't
on
think I
sub.
watched it.
Yeah, I watched it in sub.
Ah!
Is one of the greatest heroes in history, an inspiration to many across time and space.
Yes.
And there's no better example than his number one fan from the 25th century, Eobard Thawne.
Eobard.
We've
Alright, what type of name
a
is that?
lot of
A futuristic
stupid names for things in our years here at Death Battle. But I'm confident that Eobard is the dumbest f***ing first name I've ever heard in my life.
Thank you.
Eobard was completely obsessed with the Flash and dedicated his whole life to studying the Speed Force like a total nerd. Good luck to him, because there's no way he's figuring that shit out.
But Thawne's life irrevocably changed the day he discovered a time capsule from the 21st century. By some strange coincidence, it just so happened to contain
have that.
Barry's costume.
Right.
By experimenting on it, Thawne managed to replicate the Flash's powers, turning himself into a mirror of his idol.
And you can bet he totally crapped himself when Barry Senpai showed up in the future and took him under his wing. It was a dream come true.
Until Barry realized that Thawne had fabricated crimes in order to show up and save the day. Disgraced, Thawne promised to better himself before traveling to the past to prove his worth to his hero. To prove that their bond
He looks crazy.
special.
That's when Thawne found out that Barry already had a best friend, and a family, and a life without him. He didn't
That's so
matter.
crazy.
He wasn't special. He was just a nobody Barry tossed out in the trash and forgot about. Like my Tinder dates do to me.
If only. When Thawne visited the Flash Museum in Barry's time, he discovered the secret identity to Flash's greatest enemy that in his future had been lost to time. The one Barry was fated to kill in battle. Eobard Thawne. Wait a minute.
Oh, ain't that a bitch? The shock drove Thawne mad. If he couldn't be Flash's best friend, he'd be his greatest enemy. And I guess also ensure his own future death.
He would travel from the future to terrorize the Flash family in the past. Revenge.
He was
in
doing major
reverse.
damage
He'd
too.
become the Reverse Flash.
Reverse Flash. We're really setting the world on fire with these names today, huh, Wiz?
Thawne draws his powers from the negative Speed Force, which he generates with every step he takes, just like Barry does with the regular Speed Force. The negative Speed Force gives Thawne access to many of the Flash's powers, including his mind-bending super speed, enough to travel all across time and space in days. He can keep up with and surpass other speedsters like Barry and Wally.
Who once ran fast enough to cross the universe faster than two gods who could teleport. Wally even beat himself in a race, and Barry admitted Thawne was still faster than that. Wait just a second, he beat himself? That doesn't even make sense.
But
It
unlike
doesn't
Barry
sound
and
right
Wally,
either.
Thawne applies his powers more catastrophically, using them to their full potential without any care for collateral. Take, for instance, his ability to vibrate himself through solid objects.
Objects like, say, vital
People.
organs.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
He'd scramble their molecules, causing instant death. Thawne did just that to Barry's wife, Iris. And Barry did not appreciate it.
Thawne's vibrations are so powerful, he can even produce a counterforce that can reverse the destruction of the entire universe.
Pretty crazy sounding, but even B-tier speedsters like Jenny Ognats can do the same kind of thing. And when Barry and Wally raced each other, they were tearing up the entire multiverse.
Thawne can create shockwaves with a snap, phase into your body and possess you, and even speak at such high speeds that you'll hear his words as though they were your own thoughts. And instead of stealing your speed like other Flashes, he can steal your time.
Yeah, Thawne can yoink decades from your life and age you
Ridiculous.
80 years in just a
I didn't even know he could do that.
Like your sex life always.
But Thawne's greatest ability is his unmatched skill at time travel, and he uses this expertise to be as petty and cruel as humanly possible.
Thawne wasn't a dummy. He knew that if he went back in time to kill Barry before he got his powers, he'd erase himself from the time stream too.
Yeah.
So instead, he'd just make Barry's life suck as hard as he could. Push him down some stairs. Retcon his best friend from history. Kill his mom. He even told Barry he'd go back in time and adopt him as his own son.
And make you my son.
That's another big difference between Thawne and Barry.
You got to call me
Went
daddy.
back in time to save his mother's life.
Oh
Thawne
my
often
God.
went back in time to try to fix his own mediocre life. He killed his more successful younger brother, his career rival at the Flash Museum, and every
my
single
God.
boyfriend his crush had until there was no one left but
What?
him.
He was
When
bored.
she still rejected him, he went back in time again and made her an invalid for the rest of her life. Jesus Christ! This guy's a
Yes.
monster.
Yes.
He can't take
It's
rejection.
impossible.
Obviously.
Yes.
Paradox or whatever. If he went back in time to kill someone, they'd be dead in the future. Which means.
Which means he'd never know them and want to go back in time in the first place, right?
Exactly.
Liz, maybe time is a construct with no legitimate unit of measurement other than the meager attempts man has made to understand the incomprehensible world around him.
Well, actually, Thawne was just inside the time stream when Barry initiated Flashpoint, which rewrote the universe while Thawne was technically disconnected from it. So, Thawne essentially broke. Literally, figuratively, mentally, physically, temporally.
Or maybe he just hated Barry so much it defied the laws of time itself. Whoa!
More specifically, he became a living paradox, a being without a past or future, literally
So he
without
just is.
continuity.
He's
Not
just
only
there.
did this mean he'd be unaffected by changes to his past, it made him effectively immortal.
Stabbed in the chest by evil Batman, vaporized by Iris in some sweet, sweet payback, or getting Dr. Manhattan by the big blue god dong himself.
Oh, wow.
Thawne was always reborn, unable to stay dead.
But more than anything, it made him immune from consequences.
Unlike Barry,
Oh.
whose changes to time could destroy all of reality,
Goku
Thawne
Black,
could
what
do
is this?
whatever he wanted. He was impossible to stop with no reason.
Cause how in the world? See, Goku Black got killed by the Omni King, so and he was gone. But Reverse Flash could come back to life, so I think Reverse Flash is gonna win this one.
To hold back.
He survived a hit from Barry while he had the entire Speed Force absorbed into him, and even Wally's infinite mass punch, which has the mass of a white dwarf star. A white dwarf is essentially the remains of a star's ultra-dense core, which has a mass of over 2 octillion tons.
And
Imagine
he took
you getting hit by
one
that.
to the noggin
You're
and
dead.
just took a nap. Man, he must really hate Barry if a sun to the face can't take him down.
But he doesn't hate Barry. All of his schemes,
It's
all
a
of his
weird
machinations,
obsession.
all of his insane timeline-shattering threats, all of it
It's weird.
was because it was the only way he could think of to spend time with his hero.
That's really sad.
His costume
Sounds like
says it all.
troll.
He never intended to be the Reverse Flash. He wanted to be the Kid Flash. All Thawne ever really desired was to be by Barry's side.
In the end, though, goody little two-shoes Barry forgave him, and then vibrated away his living paradox powers, erasing him from existence.
Though not entirely. Barry didn't kill Thawne. He reset his timeline, removing the one thing driving his hatred, his relationship with Barry.
With him.
Without that, Thawne
Yeah.
was a normal, happy Flash fan once again.
It's comics, Wiz. He'll be back. And when he does, there'll be no running. He'll always be faster. He'll always catch you. And time is always on his side.
Still think you can take me? Even death can't catch me.
Oh man, I remember when the CW had their time.
Yeah.
Through all
It was
possibilities.
good.
Yeah. Let's go. Who you got?
I got
Goku Black.
Reverse Flash.
Okay.
So,
I was the one who.
quite an entrance.
Right. With some tea. Oh my
Right.
God.
Mortal sinners, prepare for divine
Judgment.
We-
Damn. Damn.
On site. He's on site. Ooh.
Ooh.
Uh-oh, broke his teacup.
Oops.
Like, Reverse Flash just looks intimidating.
Oh my God.
Somebody
Excuse me, sir. Can I use your services?
Use your body as a shield.
Sheesh.
face of judgment, mortal. Okay.
Oh, man.
Damn.
Oh. Oh,
What do you think of this color? Is it not beautiful?
rose.
Damn. Ooh. Right back. Bring you right back to Earth.
I know.
Run, boy, run.
That sounded good, too.
I know.
I'll end this fight before it even began. Death in reverse!
Oh, man. Ooh.
Magnificent!
He has some
Oh, he had the time.
Yes, the
Yeah,
ring.
time ring.
Ooh.
Mortal sinners!
Oh, there's about to be a lot of time.
Dang. Oh. Oh, what the heck?
Why aren't you dead?
Oh, my goodness. Oh,
Oh, what the heck, bro?
all the other ones.
Oh, snap.
That might help him win the fight. 'Cause he
Yeah.
exists somewhere all the time. Oh, man. Going through the same thing again. Ooh.
Don't tell me this fight ain't gonna have a winner.
They're destroying each other at every point.
Hey, the feudal Japan.
Look.
That Quicksilver.
Yeah, people that there's this is Quicksilver.
Look down upon creation itself. That is the work of a god! Threats to a living paradox! How truly foolish.
Oh.
Oh, he took your reins.
Is that important?
Oh. Bye. Ooh.
How fun.
My new one.
KO! You know, we said that people that son, we really should have a timeshare.
This was a fairly tricky
My
match to figure
goodness.
out, least of all for their incredible levels of power.
The ring was only thing
Universe
protecting
like
him,
ours
so.
Yeah.
at least 660 times over. I mean, a punch at least as big as a star is really badass. But that's in another league.
However, there was a lot more to cover than just how many stars or universes they could blow up. At their peak, both Goku Black and Reverse Flash were so impressive they were removed from time itself, becoming living paradoxes, making any attempt to kill either of them meaningless.
Stupid time travel.
It's difficult to determine who would figure out a counter to this temporal invincibility first, but it would most likely rely on a combination of speed and smarts.
As far as speed goes, it's no surprise Thawne definitely had the edge.
Yeah.
Black's attacks could reach speeds quintillions of times faster than light, but Thawne is a Flash.
Even early in his career as a member of the Flash family,
He just looks
Wally
scary,
West could reach
like-
speeds that were impossible to comprehend and calculate. There are numerous examples of this for multiple iterations of the Flash, many of whom Thawne was clearly equal to.
Plus, he's kind of an expert when it comes to timey-wimey bullshit.
And he could likely overpower Black and destroy said time ring too. After all, Thawne once generated enough energy to counter the destruction of the entire DC universe, which is stated in comics to be at least 100 trillion light years in diameter. That's over 1 billion times larger than our own universe, and over 70 million times larger than Dragon Ball's Universe 7.
It's sort of impossible to lock down the exact limits of Goku Black's upper strength without getting into lots of assumptions and guesswork. He's obviously stronger than Goku was when he clashed with Beerus, but even being super generous with training and power boosts and multipliers, the gap here is way too wide to be able to just assume Goku Black could match this level of power. The DC universe is just too big. And remember, Barry and Wally's race almost ripped apart the entire DC multiverse.
It's also important to stress that Goku Black is not Goku. Goku's drive and willpower can push through even the most absurd limits to potentially match higher levels of power. Zamasu took Goku's body because he's more than willing to take shortcuts. It's an entirely different mindset.
Yeah, and once he took care of that time ring, Reverse Flash had a lot more options than just overpowering Black. With that super speed, he could pretty easily scramble Black's insides or age him to death with a touch. Zamasu may have been a deity even without the time ring, but Goku's body is mortal with a limited range of age. Might have really screwed yourself with that one, huh, Zam Zam?
Goku Black was a nightmarish foe, but Thawne's experience with time travel, ridiculous levels of hacks, and frankly impossible speed gave him the means to take the win.
This fight was definitely not underwhelming.
The winner is the Reverse Flash.
My goodness.
I hope you guys enjoyed that episode of Battle.
I'm ready for the next one. What's next?
Season 2 of
The way that he killed him was just like so like
show all about contestants.
I know.
like just dragging him across.
That's the Reverse Flash. Flash First ain't got no like
I know.
no qualms about getting his hands dirty.
No. Kool-Aid Man versus Hulk Hogan. What? Macho Master
versus
Hulk Hogan.
Oh my goodness. You said Hulk Hogan? I thought it was oh yeah, brother.
That's his rival, Jasmine. Come on now.
I'm not even mad. Right. I don't know about that next battle, but I know this is I know this one. I wasn't really mad that Goku Black lost because I'm like, you know, Reverse Flash is like, I remember we was watching because we took our hiatus from from CW Flash. But when we were watching it, the first 2 seasons, like, Reverse Flash was an issue.
Yeah, he was an issue. And I remember when he was like, I remember the point that he was running away from, Zoom?
Was it Zoom? Yeah.
Yeah, he was running away from Zoom and like he wasn't trying to stay in a certain time too long. And we're like, why is he, like, and we saw.
Oh, no, he wasn't running away from Zoom. He was running away from,
Zoom was.
Zoom, yeah, was the, what was I don't know. He was like a zombie. He was, the Speed Force took him over. Yeah, he was like a zombie.
Like a Grim Reaper Flash.
Yeah.
That's what he was running away from. And then I was like, oh, I see why you're running now.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God.
I'm like, who is he afraid of?
Right.
And I saw it, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, so I had to keep running. And I was like, it was great. But yeah, Goku Black. And they said something about if he fused with Zamasu, Reverse Flash has the power to destroy timelines, and I believe it at this point.
I just know that all the timeline stuff just
it's just very confusing.
So
I don't think the writers were like, oh yeah, we'll just worry about it later.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Anyway, guys, comment below. Let's know what you think.
Don't forget to like,
subscribe, and share.